This is super exciting. We're crazy excited to welcome you guys into the first episode of Market Movers. My name is Dan Koob. I am the executive producer of content and media here at Sport Trade. We have had a hell of an opening weekend. Over 1,900 contracts were traded since our public launch on Thursday. Over the weekend, an unbelievable week 2 of the NFL season that saw multiple comebacks, historic comebacks, and more importantly for sport trade users and sports traders who are now welcoming in under our tent, our umbrella, major opportunities to make profitable trades. One of the best trades we have made here at Sport Trade in our very, very early going is bringing in our first guest, our market movers. You know her from ESPN. She is Anita Marks, ladies and gentlemen. Anita, thank you so much for being here with us. And we can announce it now. You're going to be with us every single Monday throughout the NFL season. We are so excited to have you with us on Sport Trade and Market Movers. How are you?
I'm great. And I'm excited to be with you. I find what you guys do fascinating. I love gambling. I love the gambling space, especially when it comes to the NFL. And this just takes it to a whole nother level. And it's going to make it even that much more fun and enjoyable to wager on the NFL this season. So I'm thrilled to be with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And this is obviously a little different from what most people maybe are used to. If you're watching this for the first time, if you're thinking to yourself, I don't really understand sport trade, this is going to be a show where not only we talk about the markets, but we're going to educate new users as well on exactly why we believe sports trading is truly the future. But we, of course, Anita, have to begin Week 2 in the National Football League that saw crazy price swings, even crazier comebacks from multiple teams. We'll start with a team that is close to the hearts of a lot of sport trade employees. I know you're in North Jersey as well. We're talking about the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. The Jets trailed 30-17 with 1:55 left in the fourth quarter, and that is when the eliteness of Joe Flacco gets activated. South Jersey pride. We love you down here in South Jersey, Joe Flacco. The game, at that point, the Jets, Anita, trading at less than $5 per contract, down 2 scores with 1:55 left. They win the game. The reaction today has been, maybe Robert Saleh was right. Are you holding receipts the same way Robert Saleh has been holding his?
I'll tell you what, Robert Saleh has a lot of receipts on me. He certainly does. As you know, I host Sports Talk Radio here on ESPN Radio, 98.7 here at ESPN. And I have to be honest with my analysis of the Jets. And I've got some question marks whether or not Zach Wilson was the right QB choice for them to select when they did. In my opinion, jury's still out, but I still think at the end of the day, Mac Jones is going to prove that he very well could have been the best quarterback coming out of that draft class. But nonetheless, here's another thing. Leading up to the start of the season, everything we were hearing out at Jets camp was that Joe Flacco was outperforming Zach Wilson at camp. And when you heard a number of the wide receivers talk to the media post-practice, if you read into their statements, Joe Flacco throws a more catchable ball. Joe Flacco throws a better ball. Elijah Moore. Exactly. So just going into the first 4 weeks of the season, which the NFL did the Jets no justice, right? Like the first 4 games against the AFC North. I said the Jets, they're going to go 0-4. Oh, Jets fans calling in the show. You hate the Jets. You're a Jets hater. Robert Saleh taking receipts on me, ready to shove them down my throat. Okay. But when it was announced after Zach Wilson had the knee injury and it was announced that Joe Flacco is going to start possibly all 4 games against AFC North opponents who he knows very well because we know he's from Baltimore on, I said, you know what? Don't be surprised if the Jets maybe go 2-2 now, because I do believe at this stage in the game, Joe Flacco's the better quarterback. But with that being said, here's the thing. This game should have been over.
Oh.
Nick Chubb should have had better NFL IQ, and shame on the coaching staff, okay? Dan, who didn't pull him aside and say, hey, listen, this is where we're at, right? We're up by 13. There's 9 seconds left, and the Jets have no timeout. Take a knee. Don't go out of bounds. Don't score. Game over. And that's not what happened. And the NFL, funny things happened, and that's exactly what happened with the Jets. Nick Chubb scores. Jets onside kick. They get it. A reason why Garrett Wilson went in the first round. Dude's a stud for 100 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns on the day, and the Jets come back and win. So whoever, what'd you say? What did you say the price was for the
Jets?
Trading
at less than $5 with that opportunity.
Heading into the fourth quarter?
Yeah, not even fourth quarter, with 1:55 to go. So for those who are uninitiated, if you would have gotten the Jets at $5 for one contract of $5, they settle at $195. Of course, 2% commission that we take. But if you would have put down $20, you're talking $400. I mean, that's the biggest thing with Sport Trade, Anita, is that you can get in super early. And we're going to talk about some other games where you could have got in for 50 cents. Some of us did. We'll also have a larger conversation about your tolerance for holding, but you can get in super early on Sport Trade. And then if what you bought at 5 is now trading at 20, that's pure profit. The Jets don't have to win the game. Looking ahead now, they get week 3. They go to the 0-2 Bengals, or rather the 0-2 Bengals come to MetLife Stadium. And for some reason, we'll pull up our markets here, have you take a look in the audience. The Bengals going to the New York Jets, trading at 66.50 to win the game. The Jets at 35. So I know you said, Anita, initially you thought, well, these Jets are going to go 0-4, despite the fact that Joe Douglas has had a fantastic draft. They consider themselves to have fallen into 4 first-round picks. Now you're thinking 2-2. The Bengals can't protect Joe Burrow. So I'm looking at 66.5 to win the game as an opportunity to buy low on the Jets. And then if they can stay competitive for much of the game, you're looking at a profit if they get to 50, 55, 60 at any point.
I am personally staying away from this game, but okay. I can see where the value is for the Jets. Again, Joe Flacco coming into his own. He knows the AFC North extremely well. And here's a little note for you. I came across this 2 weeks ago. Joe Burrow just didn't have an appendectomy. His appendix burst. So, and thank God it wasn't worse. I mean, because now you're talking about poison seeping through your body, getting into your organs. So I'm assuming they caught it early for the mere fact that he was able to start week 1 of the NFL season. But that's a lot more intricate surgery when your appendix bursts, as opposed to, ooh, your appendix looks like it's about to burst. Let's get in there microscopically and remove it. So Joe Burrow seems off. This offensive line is off. Defensively, obviously, and here's another thing in regard to teams like Cincinnati, who went to the Super Bowl, unfortunately lost. Keep in mind, their regular season, their postseason went longer than most. They're off. It's just, and it's so hard for a team to you have to be so in. You have to buy so in to really make a run and sacrifice so much to make a run and win a championship. It's so hard for teams to get back to that level again, that intensity, that focus, that sacrifice. So I see where the value is with the Jets. This isn't one of the games I'm playing.
Last thought on this game, nothing's funnier to me than La'el Collins giving up multiple quarterback hits and 2 sacks to Micah Parsons, a guy who last year he practiced against every single day. Keep it classy, La'el Collins. All right, moving on to the Ravens and the Dolphins. The Fins last week, or I should say yesterday, down to about $2, $3, I believe, heading into the fourth quarter, which they trailed 35-14. The Tuanon all over the interwebs today. They are loving it. Tua Tagovailoa, 199 yards, 4 touchdowns just in the fourth quarter. People with fantasy teams with Jalen Waddle, with Tyreek Hill freaking out, myself among them. What do we do with this, Anita? What do we do with this new offense, new head coach, and what looks to be like a new Tua heading into next week, where the Dolphins run into a potential buzzsaw with the Bills?
Well, okay, so full disclosure, I'm from Miami. I'm from the 305. Grew up watching Dan Marino at the Orange Bowl, no less, right? And my mom still lives there. So first half, my mom's texting me, Tua sucks. He's horrible. We should have drafted Justin Herbert. What are we doing? Who's available? Who's that Alabama quarterback everybody's talking about? I'm like,
a lot of people passing along the same text messages in that area code, I feel like.
I'm like, Mom, relax. All of a sudden, what happens? You have a Ravens team. They're at 35-14 in the fourth quarter. And all of a sudden, their DBs start getting injured. So their secondary started to deal with some injuries, number one. Number two, Tyreek Hill and Waddle, speed kills. speed kills, and that's exactly what they have. And I think a lot of people are underestimating Chase Edmonds as well in that backfield, especially in the passing game and the threat that he presents to defenses. And the Ravens linebacking core gave up over 100 receiving yards yesterday. So it was a complete secondary that totally blew it. So with that being said, Ravens have to rebound, and they're going to be some angry birds next week heading into New England to take on the Patriots. But I'll tell you what, this is a Dolphins team now. They're getting 4.5. They're going to take on the Bills. So what's happening now? They're at home in Miami, advantage in September because of the heat, rest advantage because the Bills play tonight, right? And this is an offense that we're seeing that can stay lockstep with the Buffalo Bills. And you mentioned the head coach. This head coach, Mike McDaniels, this is a team, and these are players that really, I mean, they love this guy. They love playing for this guy night and day from Flores. So
what's not to love? He missed Easy Day. I feel bad for him.
There's a lot of positives here with this Miami game, this Miami team. And like I said, for all those reasons, playing in the heat of Miami on the rest advantage, an offense that you've got two speedsters that could run 4 threes. Are you kidding me? They could keep up with the Bills. It's a divisional game. Listen, I'm on this. I'm on the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins plus 4.5. I'll take them.
On Sport Trade in week 3, Fins and Bills. The Bills straight up trading at $68 to win. The Dolphins $36. The total 51.5. The over at 50.5. Oh, actually, that market has literally just moved. Earlier in the day, it was $50.50. The over 51.5 points. One of the biggest ones on the board at Sport Trade is now trading at $49. The under is now trading at 52.5. So the under seeing some action on a Monday afternoon. But, these two teams can absolutely light it up. I don't feel as though the Bills secondary is that great. They still have pieces that are missing, right? I think 51.5 is a completely attainable number. But one of the great things about Sport Trade is if you buy the over at 49.5, right, and they score 28 points in the first half, well, now your over's looking pretty good. You may have actually seen an increase in your price. Let's say they're priced at 60 going into halftime. That's a quick $9 to $11. We'll move on to the Cardinals and the Raiders. The Cardinals trailed 20-0 at halftime and were able to win the game. And at one point, Anita, they were trading at just $1.50. What did
you get them out? What did you get them at?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because they won the football game, Anita. Oh. So I could have gone from $3.50 all the way to 100, and I had paper hands. I dropped the ball. No diamond hands here. I know you can zoom in. There's no camera person in the studio. It's just me. Straight paper. I'm embarrassed.
How many diapers could you have bought for $100?
In this inflation,
I own dogs. I don't own children.
In this
I would know.
Inflationary environment. Not as many as I could have in the past, but still a lot. And I got to say, not too happy about it. As we do look forward, the Cardinals somehow are 1-1, but they get the consolation prize, I guess, of taking on the Los Angeles Rams next week. As of right now, the Cards next week priced at, let's see, I had it up. I don't have it up anymore. Let's see. Yes, I got it.
Plus 4.5, and you can get that at 52.50.
52.50 outright. Cardinals 36, Rams 65. This Rams team is interesting to me, Anita. They can't run the ball. Allen Robinson got like 5 targets yesterday. Cooper Kupp does Cooper Kupp things. Are we that confident in them?
No, yeah, I'm not.
I'm not either.
I'm certainly not.
Yeah.
Again, I'll go back to what we talked about with Cincinnati. It's so hard for a team to go to the Super Bowl and then be that committed, that invested, that in. It's difficult. It's just so much has to come together for a team to do well throughout the season. I know this Cardinals team has looked anemic at times. Kingsbury, to me, he's just a slow starter. And you'd imagine that somebody who's like had such a really exciting offense in college would be able to translate that and bring it to the NFL, especially with Murray as his quarterback. But for whatever reason, they're a slow starting team. Here's the positive news. Hopefully they get Rondale Moore back. At least I hope so. I've got him on a number of my
guy, Rondale Moore. Love Rondale Moore. The pride of New Albany, Indiana.
I've got him on a few of my fantasy teams. I'm waiting for him to be active and attractive. On top of that, Zach Ertz, what do you have? 11 targets. So Zach Ertz had a Zach Ertz kind of day. He was dealing with a calf injury coming into the season, and Watt is back. So they're getting healthier. I think this win against the Raiders, I think is going to inject a little bit more energy in them. And I'm with you. I think there's some big concerns here with this Rams team. It's Matthew Stafford who continues to throw interceptions, and it's Cooper Kupp having Cooper Kupp days. But outside of that, what is it? Nothing.
Yeah, not much. I've said this publicly on social media. I've said it on television before. You don't have to respond to this. Cliff Kingsbury, too hot to be a good NFL coach. I don't care. You can't have it all, guy. We're moving on. Okay. Nita, what are you looking for tonight as Justin Jefferson, who should have been an Eagle,
Yep,
comes to South Philly?
You picked Rager.
Yeah, I don't need a reminder. I was in the auditorium covering the team when it happened, and I remember going, pardon? What?
Yeah.
What's that? The guy from TCU who had 30 catches last year?
So just out of curiosity, every time the Eagles score a touchdown, do you fly, Eagles fly?
On the road to victory. Fight, Eagles fly. Score a touchdown. 1, 2, 3. Everyone's now, not only am I tone deaf, everyone is deaf now. But that was electric content for those watching at home.
So here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you, I love the Eagles, and I'm not just saying that because you're wearing the jacket. I love the Eagles. I think a lot of people are underestimating Jalen Hurts. Is he a top 10, top 15 quarterback in the NFL? Listen, dude's dealing, right? He could do it in the air, he could do it on the land, he could do it by sea, he could do it all over the place. And the addition of AJ Brown is just ridiculous. They've got a plethora of weapons to work with on the offensive side of the ball. Their offensive line is solid. But where this game is going to be won is on the defensive side of the ball. To me, Jordan Davis, I think, and when it's all said and done, I think Jordan Davis is going to be one of the best draft picks in this year's draft. You add him to that defense, he doesn't even start. Well, he starts, but he's not even like on the depth chart. He's not even one of the starters on the depth chart.
Played 20 snaps last week.
That's just how ridiculously dumb this defensive line is. Fletcher Cox getting a sack tonight, by the way, is plus 280. But I think that's where it's going to be run, because the weakness for the Minnesota Vikings is the interior of their offensive line. And I think they get in there. I think they get after Kirk Cousins. Both these defenses play a lot of zone. So I'm apprehensive to play the over, because both these quarterbacks actually excel in man coverage.
Yeah.
I read a stat somewhere that Jalen Hurts averages 10 yards per pass against man and only 4.7 yards per pass against zone. So I'm a little reluctant to play the over under. If you made me play it, I'd probably lean more towards the under, but nonetheless, I think the Eagles win this game. But here's the thing. I want to throw this back to you. I can get the Eagles -2.5 for $52. I can just get them to win straight up at $57. For $5, it's I don't like a Starbucks coffee is more than $5. I'll spend the extra $5 just to get them straight up to win.
That's why I buy the big bags. Go to Sprouts, get the big bags. So we had a bit of an audio cutout. So I'm going to run through the markets with everybody one more time. So straight up winner, the Philadelphia Eagles at $58 to straight up win. The Minnesota Vikings at $42.5. That strike price for the spread, Eagles at -2.5, 54, and the Vikings +2.5, 47. The over 48.5 is going for 53.5, and the under for 47. So, okay, here's where the rubber meets the road, Anita. What are you trading on? We're going to trade it live. So people are going to be able to look up here. They're going to be able to see it, and then we will track it for them heading into the Twitter Spaces tonight. So your trade, what are you making?
For
Eagles Vikings.
So I'm gonna play the Eagles to win at 57. That's what I'm gonna play.
All right, Anita's in for one contract here at 58. Looks like it just moved a little bit. Waiting for it to go through. Here we go. So your order has been filled. One contract of the Birds at 58. We'll be able to track that. I am actually going to be contrarian. I think the Eagles are going to win, but Justin Jefferson's going to score a touchdown only because that's what he does. So I'm actually going to be on the other side of that. The Vikings at 42.5. We'll see how that shakes out. Moving on to the final game of the Monday Night Football slate. It's actually the first game tonight. You'll be able to see Bills and the Titans. We'll pull up their market right now. Bills, Titans, who, I don't know a single person who's on Tennessee tonight, but the Bills trading at $80.50 to win straight up. The Titans at $20.50. That spread price at Bills 9.5, $52. Titans plus 9.5 at 49.5, and the over 49.5 is trading at 44.5. The under is trading at 56.5. Anita, fresh off 10 days ago, 11 days ago, a complete beatdown of the defending Super Bowl champions. Do you like the Bills to do the same thing tonight?
So a few things here.
Sure.
Before we get to what I'm going to trade, but if this line jumps up to 10.5, I'm all over it. I doubt it will. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay. If I could get Tennessee plus 10.5, I'm on it. Okay. I read a stat. Teams that start the season 0-2 are 63% against the spread in week 3. This is a Tennessee Titans team. Granted, they've looked not great. They were competitive against the Giants, but I think this is also a Tennessee Titans team that is more committed to passing the ball now than they were before. Even though they still have Derrick Henry back there, they've got a plethora of young, exciting rookie wide receivers. Burks, Hope Phillips can play tonight. So and they're I want to say they ran the ball only 42 or 43% of their plays against the Giants last week. So I think that there's a really good chance that the Tennessee Titans pulled the backdoor cover. So if this line goes up to 10.5, I'm buying it. But with that being said, let's shelf that for a second. How am I playing this?
Yeah.
I think the Buffalo Bills come out to a real fast start. Okay. Again, as you said, rest advantage, right? They're home. I think they're going to open it up. I think they're going to move the ball at will. I think Tennessee is going to try to stay. You keep on using that term, lockstep with the Buffalo Bills. Again, you're not going to beat the Bills by running the football and controlling the clock because you're going to have to stay up with them. And again, they are committed to passing the football more this season, even though, of course, we only have one game. I know, small sample size. So here's the thing. I'm going to play the over. Okay. I'm going to play the over. It's at 49.5. I'm going to play the over 49.5. That's what I'm going to buy. I think at the half, it's going to be anywhere between 26, 27, 28 points at the half. And then.
So in that scenario, we're seeing an opportunity here for you, Anita, that if they're at 44.5 $44.50 for the over 49.5 to hit. Make sure we understand those two numbers are different. You could be looking at a situation where if there are 26, 27, 28 points, that could be trading anywhere near $70 maybe. So in that scenario, you've made $25. You could sell that out. And then what you could do is go back into the market and buy the under if you like it.
Boom. I think that's what we might be talking about at the half.
There we go. How about it? Synergy. First show synergy. How about it? I love it.
I think that's exactly what we're going to be talking about at the half. Hopefully my prediction comes true.
Okay. So the next question for you, how many contracts are you willing to buy? Are you buying at 44.5 or do you want to double up? Totally up to you.
You know what? You know what?
Because on Sports Trade,
Mama did well in week 2.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's double up. Let's double up.
2 contracts. Now, the best thing about this, Anita, on Sports Trade, if you have 2 contracts, it's exactly like buying 2 shares of a stock, right? So let's say you were comfortable selling one of those contracts. You could totally do that on Sports Trade. You could sell half of your lot, sell 1 contract, sell half a contract, sell 1.5 contracts, and still have some left on the over. Now, you wouldn't be able to play both sides like we just talked about, but there are a lot of different things that you can do. All right, so we are in 2 contracts of the over 49.5 for the Titans and the Bills tonight. We will see everybody tonight. Pull up the promo. Okay, we're not going to do that because Dan made a mistake when he's building the show. That's okay. We have audio now. So what we're going to do is you will see us later tonight on Twitter Spaces at Sport Trade's Twitter site at halftime of the Monday Night Football game between the Vikings and between the Eagles. Make sure you join us. We will go through the trades that Anita and I have just made, and we'll see how we do. And then we'll also set a course for how you can trade the second half because there are so many opportunities to do just that on Sport Trade. Limitless opportunities. Anita, thank you so much. We will see you right back here next Monday for Market Movers. And of course, we will hear you on Twitter this evening at Sport Trade app. Thank you so much for joining us.
You got it.
All right. We'll see everybody later this evening. And of course, every Monday through Friday here